Namaskaram everyone. In today's narration, we continue with the story of Sati. When they saw Sati destroying herself, the attendants of Sati rushed towards Daksha with the intention of killing him and thus avenge the death of their queen. Bhrigu saw them rushing and invoking a mantra which destroys those who try to disturb a yajna. He poured libations into the fire. Out of the fire was born a crowd of beings by the name Ribhus, and they were more than 1,000 in number. They fought with the servants of Mahadeva and drove them back. In the meantime, sage Narada went to Mahadeva and related to him about the happenings of the Yagashala and the tragic end of Sati. Dear listeners, we must always remember the important role that Narada has to play in the lives of everyone whenever there is a change that is expected around the corner. He becomes the catalyst for that transformation through his words, through his conversations, and through his questions. So in the meantime, sage Narada went to Mahadeva and related to him about the happenings at the Yajnashala and the tragic end of Sati, and about the rooting of the Pramathaganas by the power of Bhrigu. Mahadeva was not surprised. He knew all along that something like this would happen. All his sorrow turned into anger. In his fury, he pulled out a strand from his matted locks and flung it on the ground. Out of it was born Veerabhadra, a fire-like form. He was fierce to look at. He was so big, he seemed to measure the distance between the heavens and the earth. He had 1,000 arms and he glowed like fire. He was dark like the rain cloud and his eyes were spitting fire. He was also wearing the garland of skulls like Mahadeva. He fell at the feet of his lord and said, "What do you command me to do?" "Go," said Mahadeva, "go to the Yajnashala of Daksha. Kill him and destroy everything there." Followed by the attendants of Mahadeva, Veerabhadra hastened towards the Yajnashala. A fierce cry escaped him, and as he rushed towards the holy spot with an uplifted trident in his hand, the dust rising from the rush of the Pramathaganas, it was so great that those in the Yajnashala began to wonder what was happening. "What is happening in the north?" they asked themselves. "It cannot be night drawing near. It is a cloud of dust. Where does the dust come from? There is no breeze blowing. Perhaps it is a pralaya, the great deluge," they thought. Daksha's wife Prasuti was afraid something dreadful was about to happen. She knew this was imminent when she saw how her daughter had been insulted, when she burnt herself right in front of her eyes. She knew the greatness of Mahadeva. How could one who defied him be safe from his anger? Within a few minutes, the Yajnashala was surrounded by the angry Pramathaganas led by Veerabhadra. Panic set in everyone. Everyone was rushing everywhere. Maniman rushed towards Bhrigu and captured him. Veerabhadra caught hold of Daksha in his immense arms. Chandikeshwara pinned Pushan, that is the sun, in his arms, while Nandi got Bhaga as his share. Veerabhadra pulled out the moustaches on the lips of Bhrigu. Bhaga, who had incited Daksha in his indifference towards Sati by just moving his eyebrows, suffered for what he had done. Both his eyes were destroyed. When Mahadeva was insulted long ago by Daksha in the other yaga, Pushan had the indiscretion to laugh, and now all his teeth were lost by the blow from the fist of this terrible henchman of Mahadeva. Veerabhadra then sat on the chest of Daksha and tried to cut off his head, but he was not able to do so. For a while he was nonplussed, since no weapon could kill Daksha. Then he realized that because of the fact that he was performing the yajna, Daksha was immune from weapons. Veerabhadra now knew what he should do. He strangled Daksha with his bare hands. He then severed the head from the body and threw it into the fire as an offering. The Yajnashala was destroyed completely, and the attendants, led by Veerabhadra, returned to Kailasa. Hari Om.